Hey guys, Chris Fayte with Cheat the Game coming back at you today. We're going to be taking a look at the BARD'S TALE IV, Barrows Deep. It just recently came out not too long ago. If you haven't got this game, I really recommend that you get it. It's got some easy stuff in it, and it's got some very challenging stuff in it. And we're going to go over and look at something today on getting infinite health and one-hit kills. And this thing has really put me to the test. I want to let you know, but it will really test your knowledge and get you to really looking for alternate solutions, get you to thinking outside the box. So I really recommend, if you can, get the game and take a stab at it for a little bit. You'll find you'll find you get a little bit frustrated, but you will learn a lot. So I also want to thank Richard Tester and also Tim over at Fearless, one of the administrators over at Fearless Cheat Engine, for assistance with this. It was through their help as well that I was able to get this script working. So both of them did contribute to that. So I want to give credit where credit is due. Thank you guys very much for your help. So let me go ahead and bring everything up, and we'll go ahead and get started. And I know you're seeing a new type background here with Windows 10. I recently got a new disk drive, an SSD 1 terabyte, and I got Windows 10 put on it, but I still have my other hard drives in there as well with the Windows 8.1. But I wanted something that I could be able to do the DirectX 12 games like Quantum Leap and this one right here, Recore, that I just recently got. I couldn't do DirectX 12 type games on the 8.1, so I just wanted to have a Windows 10 also. So I kind of fluctuate between both, so I didn't want to throw anybody for a loop here. So I'll be right back with you. Okay, I went ahead and turned everything down on the volume just so there's just not too much bleed through on it. So let's go ahead and get started. I want to go ahead and attach Cheat Engine to the game. And let's see here. I'm not going to upload my table here. We're just going to do this from scratch. And one thing I want to say about the health value, I'm going to kind of bypass. Now, I searched for it for hours. I mean, it was right under my nose the entire time, and it's so easy to miss. And the reason being is you've got several display codes, and you have the internal code. And in most games, the internal code controls what the displays are showing. However, in this game, the internal code and the display codes are not in sync with each other, and the internal code is not controlling the displays. So that was one way to keep it very elusive, and it was hard to find that way. So you have to freeze your internal code. However, your display health is going to keep going down to 0 till you get a 0 bar. But as long as your internal health is not down to 0, then you're not going to die. So go figure on that one. But it was right under my nose the entire time. I kept dismissing it as a display code, and that's why it took me so long to find it. I'm not saying that doesn't happen in other games too. It does, I'm sure. It's just I haven't run into it before until now. But here's a situation where this happened, so I was able to find it. So we're going to go directly to the value, and I'll just show you how to quickly find it. But the way I originally found it was I went to my edit tab up here in settings, and this is when I didn't know what it was. Is I turned on just 4-byte and float, and that's it. And then I did all scan search. What I do is I choose rounded default and simple values only, and I always choose pause game while scanning, especially on 64-bit games. And I just did changed and unchanged, and I just kept getting the same type display values at the end. I'm like, I can't believe it. I cannot find it. And I knew infinite health. I knew health was being frozen when I did all of them, but it seemed like if I just let one go, it would just go down and I'd die. I just couldn't figure it out. And that's what was happening, is I was dismissing the real internal code as a display code because the displays were still going down. So you want to be aware of that when you're looking for that too. So I just kind of wanted to throw that out there. We'll go ahead and get on with it, and I'll show you how to quickly find it. We're going to combine a few lessons here, and I want to look up a different way to compare. And I want to thank Darkbite for bringing this to my attention. Also, a guy over at the Discord channel put up a screenshot of it, and I saw that too. And I said, it's kind of weird that you put that up there, because I was just going to do a vid on that. I'm just going to put it with this one. Now, let's just disable that. I don't need that. And you want to wait till you're in battle, and it's like one of those games like with Final Fantasy. You have, you know, your regular walk around map, then you have your battle map. This is known as a battle map, even though they look the same. We're actually on a different map now. This is a different section of memory, a different part of the program. So this is where your health is being calculated, going down, up, now everything like that. And then when you're on the other map, it's possibly in different locations. Being calculated if you were to heal up before you get into battle. So always remember, when you're in battle, you're probably dealing with different locations in memory when you're looking for your health. So you want to be in battle when you look for infinite health, okay? Alright, so let's get to it. And I'm just looking for my main guy here. This is my main guy here. This is my ally. He's at 12 and I'm at 9, so I'm going to search 9 right quick. And I'm just going to go back to 4byte. It is on a 4byte. It's exact value, which is good. So it's not encrypted or anything, which I was originally thinking it was, but it's not. So, alright. So what I want to do is I want to get my ally here to go ahead and kill this guy also. This guy's just attacking me. So we got him out of the way. And nothing changed. We can go ahead and use our hotkeys to get rid of some of these changing values, and we'll just go ahead and end our turn. We just want to take some damage, and we should be down to 7 now. Oh, and that's good. We're practically there, and that's about how many display codes are, and you're going to see what I'm talking about here. Let me go ahead and put these down here. And I already know which one it is, because like I said, I was doing this for hours, but it's the one ending in C. That is the internal, but I want to show you. This is why I couldn't find it. So when I do one at a time, here's the internal. This keeps you alive, even though you'll see the displays going down, but I want you to see this. I'm going to move it over here. Now I got the top frozen, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and end my turn. And look at it, it's going on down. And you can see over here, we got one that's totally not right, so we can get rid of that one. But look at all the other displays and internal check values, and this is the regular internal value right here. That's why I couldn't find it. I was like, well, no, that can't be it, because it's still going down. It goes all the way down. Take a look. And one more hit, and we don't die. We can just keep getting hit. So I know I did find the internal code. That is the internal code in charge of you dying. This is what the flag is looking at when it turns on your death. And these other flags are just displays and possibly a character stat screen or whatever. And you see they were not controlled by this at all. I can change this all I want to. It does not affect the display codes, which is highly unusual for for any game, because usually there's one internal code controlling all this, but they're being controlled separately. However, you can control it with one certain opcode, and that's what we're going to look for next. So what I want to do is I want to find out what accesses the address, but really I'm just looking for what writes, because that's where I'm going to put my code at. So you can do that too. I just like seeing everything going on with it. So let's go ahead and have him whack us again. And we can tell by this up here that this is the writing opcode. This is moving the new value. We can see an RAX is trying to move 7 back into it. And we have Cheat Engine on writing 9 back to it. So both are, the game and Cheat Engine are trying to write 2 different values. So that's okay. Remember, we always know which is writing to our address, because our address will be on the left hand side of the comma. Whatever's on the right is being affected by whatever is on the left is being affected by whatever is on the right, and how it's being affected is by the command given. In this case, it's moving the value into our address, which is this right here. Okay, and we can go ahead and stop that. Let's go ahead and kill this guy off, because I need to get more enemies, because we got to compare out, because they are all going through this opcode right here. So let's go ahead and kill him off. And bear with me a second. I'm going to go ahead and save what I got, and I'll be right back with you, okay? Okay, guys, thank you. Let's go ahead and get to our next set of enemies here. And let's go ahead and find out what addresses this instruction accesses. Breakpoint on access. And this will give us all the addresses going through that instruction. Alrighty. Alright, so we need to hit them at least one time. We need at least 2 of them, and we need to take a hit. So let's go ahead and hit 2 of them. Alright. And we got them up here. And let's go ahead and let them hit us. Alright, here's our ally, and here's us. And the reason it's still showing 9 is because I still have that ticked on, so that's fine. Alrighty, so now here's what we can do. We can move this out of the way. We don't need that anymore. I want to show you something different. And we know these 2 up here are our enemies. This is our ally, this is us, from the order that we got hit in. And I'm going to show you something a little different, and this is what Dark Bite brought to my attention. And I want to go ahead and highlight myself and my ally. I'm going to right click on it, and instead of going directly to the dissect data, we're going to go to find commonalities between addresses, and we're going to put both of those marked selection as group 1. Just like that. You'll see them highlighted. And then I want to go to my 2 enemies, highlight them both, and I'm going to right click, find commonalities, and I'm going to mark selection as group 2. And what I want to do is just highlight them all, find commonalities again, and then we're going to scan for commonalities. Okay? And it brings up this screen here, and it shows us what's going on. It finds everything that is alike in all the registries, the base registries and everything like that. And if you take a look right here, let me well, I can't really do that right now, but if I show the register states right quick, this will just take a second. I'm going to put my enemies over here, just show register states. Here's my ally. I'm going to move him over here. If I can move the thing. There we go. And here's my hero guy. I'm going to move him over here. So this is me, my ally, and my 2 enemies. And I take a look, see what's going on in the registries. One thing I noticed is that the cap, and I always check the registries for caps also, and we see that RCX is actually holding each player's cap. We knew that all our enemies are 5. Take a look over here, you see he's 5, and when I highlight somebody else, he's 5, and we see his cap is 12, and his cap is 9. And if you take a look in the RCX registries, it matches them perfectly. 9, C, which is hex for 12, and then 2 5s. So we got some information there that we can possibly use our RCX registry to write our cap to our health. So we got that bit of information. We can also see what's going on in the other registries. We see that RAX is our current health, and that's what's writing is EAX. So we don't need these right now. Sorry. There we go. And we can actually use this as, you know, to help us find commonalities like you find in dissect data. And you can use other registries as well, because these will be different per address that you use. But for right now, we know that R15, if I go back to memory view, we can see that R15 is our base registry that's holding our particular address. Let me put the debugger off of it. And we want to double click. And it automatically puts our hero and our ally in the same group together, and our two enemies in a group together. And what I want to do is I want to tick this on only find matching groups. And I have a special place that I put these in. I'm just going to use this R15 and I'm going to replace it. And if you take a look right here, it shows that if the enemies are alike in any group, it's going to put it up here. If the allies are alike in any group, it's going to put it up here. And I'll go through, and it's the same thing as doing dissect data. However, all these are potential offsets you can use. Every single one of these. Let me show you. Because right here, the enemies are alike. And the hero are both alike but different from each other, and so on and so forth. It's just like dissect data. Here's your offsets right here, and here's your addresses and values, just like you see in the dissect data, and it makes it so much easier. Every single one of these are a potential comparison offset, and you just have to use the process of elimination, just trial and error. But I found 48 to be a good one, so I use 48. If you take a look here, just the heroes are both 0. And the enemies are a different value. However, these are float values right here, which 107 and all that mess will equal like a 2.5 or something like that. But what I did is I just used the hero, those 2 zeros for the hero and the ally. And that's what I'm going to use here. But I just wanted to show you that this is also a very good route. And you can also use your RSP registry as a stack compare. It'll take gives a composite of the stack. It shows the differences in this screen also. We'll get into this more later. I just kind of wanted to show that to you. I'm still kind of, messing with it myself, so I don't want to get too deep into it because I haven't learned everything there is to know about it yet. So, but this is a great way to compare offsets, and there's a bunch of them we could use. And I just chose 48, and it's been working for me just fine. And that's what we're going to use is 48. So let's get up here and we're going to go ahead and start our code. Now, one thing that Tim brought to my attention was I put the script on this particular opcode right here, but it only has 4 bytes. That means it has to borrow a byte from the next opcode down, which means that this jump, if not signed, is going to go down with me. Now, if this address changes, it's going to crash the game. It's going to cause all kind of problems. So it's always better, and the game's going to update eventually, and these addresses are going to change. So it's always better to, just go ahead and plan for an update in the future. Sometimes these won't be static, but these are, but sometimes they won't be. Is plan for an update and go ahead and get a good AOB script that doesn't carry like a jump, like a conditional jump down there with you. You also don't want to carry a return to allocated memory with you as well. These could cause potential problems. So to avoid that, we're going to use the opcode above it. However, we got another problem. We only need 5 bytes to place a jump here to allocated memory. If you watch my Back to Basics lesson, you would have already learned that, and I'll leave that in the upper right hand corner for you if you'd like to take a look at it. I go over all these bytes, what they mean, and everything that I'm talking about. So what we have to do is we're going to have to manually carry this opcode down there with us. Let me show you right quick. I'm just going to make a AOB injection. I'm just going to call this Health 1. Just to let me know that this script is controlling our internal health. And if you see, it only used the bytes, just 5 of these bytes, and the other 2 are being knocked out. So it will not carry the opcode we need to modify down there with us. So how do we get around that? Well, what we have to do is carry it down there manually with us. So we're going to have to amend the template a little bit. So how many bytes are in the opcode that we need that's right underneath it? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to add 4 more nops right here. And that way it's going to nop it out up here, and then we can just manually modify in allocated memory. And that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and do that. And so that way it's going to knock these bytes out too and not be utilized, and we can just make our adjustments like normal. So first of all, let's make sure it works. Let's assign that to the current cheat table. Well, I'll tell you what, let me show you what it would have done if I hadn't added those knobs, okay? Let me show you what it would have done. Those 4 knobs, just pretend like I didn't do that yet. Alright, this is the way it was originally. That's just kind of grayed out right now. I just commented it out. So really it was like that originally, and let me show you. When it places the jump there, you'll see. It just placed the jump there, but here's the opcode that we need modified. When it jumps back, it's going to run that opcode like normal, and we're not going to be able to have infinite health. It's going to override anything we try to do. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, so we don't want that to happen, so let's go ahead and turn that back off, and let's go ahead and put our knots back in there. Now we're also going to need to restore this opcode back to its normal self after it puts those knots in there. So what we need to do is grab those bytes. Here's the bytes right here in our snapshot, and we just want to put it after our AOBs down here. This just restores. This is all the bytes we want it to restore when we disable the script. So now when we turn it on, it'll have those extra knots in it and should take out that opcode, and we can just make changes like we normally do. Take a look. It's totally gone now. It's totally knocked out. Will it restore it back? So good. So now it's restoring everything, it's knopping everything. So now we can go make our script like normal. Alright. Now what I went ahead and did is went ahead and moved this add. It was down here. What we want to do is we got to remember that the opcode we need to modify is below this opcode, not above it. So any modifications we make needs to be below this opcode. We don't want to put compares ahead of it or anything like that. We want to do our modifications underneath, because it has to run that opcode first before it gets to our code, okay? So we want to keep the registries like they were before we go messing anything up. Alright? Alright, so we're going to go ahead and use that compare that we stated. And remember, it was 48, and we're using our hero and ally, which was 0. They were both 0, so that's the value we're using. We know that the R15 registry is the base address, and we know that 48 offset held that 4-byte 0, and jump if not equal to code. That's where we are sending our enemies. When they get down here, we're just having them write as normal. And I know somebody's going to ask me this. Why didn't I put add and all that? Because I'm sending everybody down here. I'm just putting a modification before it hits here. However, I will be modifying it later. I may not have time in this vid because it's already going overboard a little as it is. So just quickly, our enemies are going to come here, our heroes and ally are going to come here, and it's going to see that the enemies do not equal 0, so they're going to jump to here, and it's going to write health like normal. It's going to keep subtracting from their health, and what we want to do is move their cap. Remember, their cap was in RCX, so move into RAX the value that was in RCX. Remember, EAX is writing to our registry, writing to our address. RAX is the same exact registry, it's just a 64-bit version, and it's writing the 32. So let's go ahead and put that in there. And we want to test it out, and basically what should happen is when we take a hit, we should go up to normal health. Enemies should still keep going down, so that's what we want to see. Alright, so I'm going to end my turn, and I'm going to have them hit me, hit my ally, and see. And take a look. Our health went back up. Well, we're not losing any health. I didn't see him go back up. Let's see if our enemies are losing health. I did kill him. Okay, so let's end turn. Let's take a couple more hits. And our health ain't going down, so that's alright. So that's all we really want, was an infinite health, and we can work on something like that later. But right now, that's all we really wanted. It's still showing 9 here, so that's okay. Alright, so what if we wanted one-hit kills? What could we do with it then? Well, you know, we could just create another label, call it one hit, or just something easier, kills. Sorry, kills, and we need it to write a 0 into there. But basically what I like to do is I like to be able to turn on and off one-hit kills as I see fit, but yet still have infinite health. So what I need to do here, let's think. So they're both going to be jumping to here anyway, but that's after it's already wrote to the hero. Alright, so what we can do is we can just separate heroes and enemies altogether. And just have heroes just jump to return, just have it right to their normal health and then jump to return. And then the enemies are just going to jump down here by themselves, and the heroes will not. So we can put our flag here. So what I want to do is put our compare, and we need to register a symbol and all that mess too. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So register a symbol for kill flag. Let's go ahead and get everything set up first, and then we can concentrate on the script. There's so many ways you can do this. There's no one way written in stone that, yeah, you have to do it this way. But I'm just going to use new men for kill flag. And if you don't know how to make a flag, I give a lesson in that in several vids, but I'll put the main lesson up here in the upper right hand corner for y'all, how to make your own flags and what they're used for. Doing this very thing, and I go over it step by step. That's why I'm kind of breezing over it right now. There's sense in reteaching something I already taught. And what we want to do is go ahead and compare that to 1. And jump if equal to, and we need to create a new place for it to jump to. So let's make one more label, and we'll label that Insta. So jump if equal to Insta. This is where we'll have it write 0 to their value. Just copy that. And instead of EAX writing to it, we'll just have it move into 0 automatically. So remember, this is only being affected. These are only being affected when they're actually taking damage. If it was constantly writing, you couldn't do it this way. So let's make sure everything is good. What did I do wrong here? Label kill. Oh, that's what I used that label for. I don't need that anymore. We did Insta. There we go. So we don't need that kills anymore. We used Insta instead. Alright, that looks okay. Let's go ahead and assign that to the current cheat table. Okay, so what we can do is come up here and let's make another little script. Now what we're going to do here is just add the enable and disable. And we can use our kill flag. And declare a 1 there. And down here we're just going to have it move into 0. Or define it as 0. There we go. Let's go ahead and name these Infinite Health. One hit. Let's go ahead and turn that on, and this right here we'll put 1 to turn on / off 1 hit kills. And if we wanted to see that, we can come over here. Here's the kill flag right here. Let's put it in manually so you can see it. Here's the kill flag. Just make sure that it's working. Let's go ahead and put a hotkey on it. Merit 1, and we'll activate sound, deactivate sound, click apply, OK. Let's just test it and take a look. And you can see it's turning between 1 and 0. We can even have it say something else if we wanted to. We could put 1 is on, 0 is off. I think that's how you do it. It's been a while since I've done this. Yeah, just like that. And then when you mash the button, it just shows on and off. But anyway, that don't matter. Right now, let's keep it off. Let's make sure we still have our infinite health. And you can see nobody's taking any damage whatsoever. So I'm going to turn on my one-hit kills, as you can see. Turn it on. And let's go ahead and hit this person. He's gone. Let's go ahead and hit this person. One hit kill. Very good. Let's go take on them two down there and just make sure it works. You saw it's been taking more than one hit to kill them. We should be able to kill them with one hit. There he goes. Well, where you're really going to notice is when you take on a very powerful enemy. You're not even supposed to be able to take on paladins this early in the game, but we're going to go take some on. Let's go. See these paladins right here? You're not supposed to take them. You're supposed to sneak by them, but we're going to go take them on. Let's turn off the one-hit kills, but we're going to leave on our infinite health just to make sure. We're just going to let them well on us a bit, and then we're going to knock them off. As you can see, they're like 49. So if I just use a basic attack on one of them, it's kind of screwing with their health a little bit too. So I need to probably go back out and find a better compare, but for right now it's working. But let's go ahead and end the turn and let's see what happens here. Alright, didn't knock any health out of us. Let's turn on our one-hit kills. Let's see what happens now. He's gone. Let's hit this guy. He's gone. One hit kills all the way down. Alright, that's how you do it, fellas. And I hope this helped and everything. And plus I wanted to show that new way of comparing out. And I'm going to go in there and see if I can maybe play around with some of the others too. But I hope this gave you some ideas on things you can do. And like I say, you really want to be a lookout for internal codes. They do not have to be in sync with the displays. They do not have to be the same as displays, and sometimes they can be very elusive. So I kind of found that. I found it interesting, and I wanted to show you guys. Thanks, guys, for coming out. I really appreciate it. I want to go ahead and thank my partners right quick. These guys really helped me out and helped keep the game out. They keep the game running, and it's because of them that Cheat the Game still exists. And it's also, I want to thank you all for coming out here and watching the vid and putting likes on it, putting comments and everything. It really helps me out. I love to see your enthusiasm, how much you're learning. I really love hearing all that, and it makes me feel like this is worthwhile, and I really appreciate it. But I'm sorry this video was a little bit longer than I intended it to be. I'm sorry I kind of breezed over some stuff, but everything I've went over here, except for maybe a couple of new things, but any of the old stuff that I kind of breezed over, I've already been over, and I will link you to those tutorials in the upper right hand corner where I go over it very slowly, step by step. So and I've been over a lot of this stuff a lot in past videos too, so make sure that you are keeping up with the channel. If you're new to Cheat Engine, if you're new to this channel, make sure you go check our Back to Basics series. It'll catch you up to speed with where the rest of us are right now, and it'll really help you understand these instructions a lot better. So go take a watch on that. Alright guys, I'm out of here. You all take care. Keep on hacking. Most importantly, please enjoy yourself. That's really what it's all about. You cheat the game, fellas, because believe me, it doesn't mind cheating you. You all take care.